first one, someone is saying that, yes, it's okay. Thank you very much, guys, to let me know. Okay, we have 3 different types of papers. The first one is that one which has SBA, PET, and final exam. We have one which has SBA and final exam. Then we have the one which we call the language. So there are 3. One is this and this only. Then we have this, and this, meaning that they have all the 3. Then we have also what you call the languages. So all these 3, they are calculated based on different aspects or different concepts. Okay, all subjects which have SBA, meaning that in your subject you did not write what you call PET. You did not write PET. So now I'm starting with that. For example, you can talk about history, you can talk about life science, you can talk about physical science, you can talk about maths, you can talk about, so those subjects where there is no PET. So meaning that you have SBA. SBA means school-based assessment. So then you have the finals, final exam, meaning that those exams you are writing now. So what happens is we're gonna convert from term 1. You have to ask your teacher. You have a right to ask your teacher that how much, sir, how much, ma'am, in a good way. And don't just go there with a rough face and ask how much did I get. No, just ask them how much, sir, did I get, maybe, so that you know exactly how much you got. Now you calculate what you have done, and then you see how much you expect to get. If you get something which is too low at the end of the year, then there must be something not right. Maybe you can apply for a mark. If you're not satisfied, you can do what you think it can be right for you to upgrade those marks. Ne? Yes. All right. So now you have term 1 to term 3. All this, we call it SBA. All of it until you end your prelim. So we call it SBA, school-based assessment. So the mark you have got, we convert it to 100%. We don't stop there. We convert this 100%, yes, to 25%. Let me show you. Term 1 to term 3. Term 1, term 3. We convert it to 100%. So now term 4, or what you call the finals, we convert it to for example, you have written paper 1 is 150, and then paper 2 is also 150. So it makes up 300. So what do we do is, what happens here is this. We convert this now to 100 to 25%. Is it clear? And then we convert this to this 300 to 75%. But look clearly. If you get 25%, if you got your CAS mark, ne? This continuous assessment, yes? Continuous assessment, ne? If you get your CAS mark as 20 out of 25, you are in a range of getting a distinction. If you got more than 20, that is the first level of you getting a distinction. I'm not saying that if you got 19, you have not got a distinction. First, wait, I'm going to come there and then I show you how do we find out that I might get a distinction. And if you don't get a distinction, what could be the reason behind that? And if you are to get a distinction, what is your focus? If you are watching this video, maybe those people who are going to watch it next year, you know from the beginning, you know what you need for you to have the distinction. And then I'm going to talk about what about those people who don't want a distinction, but they just want to pass. How much do you need for you to qualify? All right. Now, we convert this 300 to 75. And then now, meaning that when you add 25 plus 75, you get how much? You get 100%. Remember, your statement is going to come with 100%. But now, how much do I need on this 75 for me to get a distinction? You need 60. Out of 75, you need 60. And here, out of 25, you need 20. You understand? Meaning that now, look, if you get 19 here, then here you will need 61. If you get 18 here, here you get 62. Do you understand? So what if you reduce this side, then this side you must increase. If you decrease this side, then automatically if you need 60 out of, listen carefully, it is 60 out of 75. So meaning that, now let me show you. What if, how much do I need for me, now I'm converting it 60 out of 75. How much do I need out of 150? So I will say that 60 divided by 75, answer, times 150 gives me 120. 120 marks. Is that what I need out of 150? So it means that, for example, you have done life science or physical science, you have got 120 and above. Then it means that you have to get a distinction. As long as on this CAS mark you got 20. Is it clear? So 120 is equivalent to 60 out of 75. So 60 plus this 20, so you get what you call 80%. Meaning that now your statement is going to come when it has 80%. I think I'm clear there. If you don't understand it clear, you let me know. Someone is saying that, sir, by saying SBA, we are referring to the tasks that were wrote all our results from term 1 to term 3. Exactly. So when I say SBA, we are talking about those tasks you did from term 1 to term 3. This only applies to papers which don't have PET. I think I'm clear there. So because now the calculation for PET is totally different from what we see here. Yes. So that's number one. So in other words, let me use this. Let me use, yes, here. In other words, I will need 60 out of 75, which is, 75, which is equivalent to 120 if the paper is out of 150, for me to get a distinction, a level 7. I will need 20, yes, out of 25. This is now the SBA. This is final mark. Final mark. Ne? I will need 20 out of 25, which is equivalent to 80%, yes, for me to get a level 7. Is it clear? So that when I add this 20 plus this 60, I form what you call 80%. So I think it is clear. Now, you can get paper 1, you get 120. Paper 2, you get 135. Then automatically it's your benefit, because paper 2, you have already shifted from 120. So the minimum you need is 120, 120. Is it clear? Yes. My life science SBA is 68%. Now, if you have someone is saying that my life science SBA is 68%, so it means that you're going to say 68 divided by 100, yes, then times 25. Yeah, times 25, answer it is 17. 17. How do I get a distinction from 17? Because now I need 60. So it means that I have to be getting 63. To get a distinction, you need to have 63 out of 75 for you to get a distinction. 63 out of 75. How much do I need if the paper is 150? So it means that each paper 1 and paper 2, you will need 63 divided by 75, answer, times 150. So it means that each paper you will need 126 marks. Paper 1, 126 minimum. Paper 2, 126 minimum. So if you got 68% as your CAS mark, is it clear now? Yes. Now, what about those people who are writing? Okay, what about people who want just a pass? You just want a pass. How much do I need for me to pass? Now, before I go to those people who are having papers which has the part, and then for SBA, for you to pass, you need a 45%. Let me calculate for you. You need 45%. 45% is equivalent to, did I say 45%? It's not 45%. You need 45 out of 150, which is 30%. So you need just 30% to pass. Yeah? But this is equivalent to, if a paper is 150, so it means that you need 45 marks for you to what? To pass. However, now, if I have 30% divided by 100, divided by 100 answer times 25 answer, so it means that when you need 7.5 out of 25 as your CAS mark. Is it clear? So you need 7.5 out of 100, out of 25. So for you, from your CAS mark, the minimum, below that, it means that it becomes a problem. So if your CAS mark, it means that you have got 30%, your CAS mark must be 7.5%. 7.5 out of 25. Now, how much do I need in the final exam? How much do I need in the final exam? Because for you to pass, you need a 30%. You have already 7.5. So you will say that you will need 22.5. 22.5 out of 75. That's what you need for you to pass. How much is that? 22.5 out of 75 out of 75 answer times 100. Yes, so this is equivalent to 30%. So if I'm doing my paper, which is 140, then automatically it is equivalent to 45 marks. So it means that all papers you are writing, you require 45. You require 45. Then you are able to get, once you write a paper, you get 45, and your CAS mark was 7.5, then you are guaranteed that you cannot fail. So that is number one. What about the people who are writing exams which has CAS mark? It has the CAS mark, has the SBA, it has the PAT, and then it has the final exam. So this is what I was trying to say, that from term 1, term 2, term 3, all of it, you see, all of it, we convert it to 25%. Paper 1 and paper 2, you write, we convert it to 75%. Is it clear? So now, once we convert them, then we add whatever you got. For example, you got here 20, and then here you got maybe 65. Then automatically here at the end of the day, you're going to get 85%. And this is the mark which is going to come onto your statement. Let me check on the comments before I continue. So how do you combine your SBA and the final mark to give your final mark? That's what I was trying to say. It means that now, the final mark you get the same way I've tried to calculate to show you that now the SBA you got 20%, 20 out of 25, and then the other one you got 65, which is around 130, for example, out of 75. Then now when you add, you get 85%. Is it clear? Yes. So now let's go to the second example, whereby you have SBA, you have the SBA, you have the PET, and then you also have the final exam. So that one is totally a different story. For example, you have SBA. You see SBA term 1, term 2, term 3. However, you have the PET here, you have the SBA, you have the PET, and then you have the final exam. How do I calculate my final mark? The mark which is going to be on your report. the final mark, to not report your statement, so that if it goes down too much, you know that maybe there's something which is not right. Maybe you can do apply for remark. Before you apply, don't just apply for a remark and just like that, wasting your money and the time and stuff. No, please first know, how much do I need? How much did I get? You think when I wrote this paper, how we do this memorandum so that they can guide you to know that, okay, now if I can get 130, how much do I need in paper 2? Maybe I need 120, so that now I can make to a distinction. All right, let's calculate for a paper which has PET. Yeah, for papers which have PET, it is divided into categories. Before I go to languages, let me first talk about like CAT. You can talk about CAT, you can talk about tourism, you can talk about, I think, even agriculture management, those papers which have PET. All right, this one, the SBA is not converted into the same way we are converting it. These people who are writing papers which have PET, they're saying that, Mr. Saidi, why didn't I discover your... Oh, sorry. It's good that at least you are here. All right, let me just show you guys. The first thing is you convert 25 goes to SBA, 25 goes to PET, and then now 25 plus 25, you get 50%, meaning that 50%. Now, what about final exam? For example, tourism, for example, CAT, the papers you write, paper 1 and paper 2, yes, paper 1 and paper 2, then that is, we convert it into 50%. So that I add 50 plus 50 plus 50. That's why these these subjects which have PET, they are easy to pass. Why? Remember, SBA is done from school, so it's easy to pass. PET is done from school, is easy to pass. The only thing which is not easy to pass is this final exam, which is also 50%. Automatically, you guys, just by not making this that much, you have not excelled that much in this. Just mere excelling this and this is enough for you to pass, not you to fail. So there is no way why you should fail a subject which has PET. Why? Because these things are done from school. They are done from what? From school. Let me see, sir. What's marking math? Paper 2. Am I? So if I got 28 out of 30, 28 out of 30 in my life science SBA, 28 out of 30, and 130 out of 50, paper 1 and paper 2 150, what percentage will I get on the statement? What do you mean by 28 out of 30? Because it is Mizuki's zone. You are saying 28 out of 30. It is supposed to be maybe 18 out of 25. Yes? So it means that, because you can't say 28 out of 30 because it is converted into 25. You understand? So maybe 18 out of 30 you got, okay, 18 out of 30, 18 out of 30, 18 out of 25, and then 125, and then 130. Automatically, this one is gonna be like 130 divided by 150, because the paper is out of 150. Yes, times, yes, and okay, we added them. Let's just add them together so that I don't waste too much time. 125 plus 130. Answer, it is 255. So this 2 is 255 divided by 300, divided by 300. Answer, you get times 75 times 75, it gives me 63.75. Now plus this 18 you got from your SBA, so now I'll say that plus 63.75 plus 18, so basically you get 81%, 81.7%. so basically that's what you get as a distinction, just in case that's what you have got in this case. So it means that you can do paper 1 maybe not that good, paper 2 you do that's good. So because the weighting is the same, then automatically it pushes you up, and then when you come back and then you didn't do well in SBA, then automatically you will get a distinction. But guys, there is also a scenario whereby we don't consider the SBA. Yes, so we have to talk about it. Why my SBA not considered? I will talk about it. I'll talk about it. So now guys, I think we are clear there. So it means that if you're doing a paper which has PET, we convert the PET from term 1 to term 3. All what you do, we give you 25%. 25%. Then the PET you have done, so we call this one SBA. The PET you have done, actually this PET is not added in your term 1 and term from term 1 and term 3 reports you have been getting. We're only waiting for you to finish, and then we bring the PET so that we can add it. This PET you have been doing from term 1, term 3, yes. What happens? We also convert it to 25%. Is it clear? And then now the final exam you are done in November. Those papers which have PETs, yes, we convert it to 50%, so that when I add this plus this plus this, I get 100%. Do you understand? So now if I get, for example, 12 out of 25, I get 12 out of 25. Now it means that now I have 24. You understand? 24. How much do I need to pass? I only need 6 marks from here just to pass. I'm talking about just to pass. So I only need 6% from here. Then I'm able to pass, because they're going to add this 6 here, and then I will get 30%. And the moment I get 30%, I've passed. But if you want a distinction, then now it's a different story. So you have to make sure that you pass this high, and then you pass this, and you pass this. You understand? So that at least if you don't pass this that much, maybe here you get 20 out of 25, you get maybe 18 out of 25, so that when I add a 20 plus 20 plus 18 is 38. Then how much do I need for me to get a distinction? 38 minus, so I'm gonna say 38 minus 80, so it gives me 42. It means that now if I got here for exams which have part, for example, the first part I got 20 out of 25, and then the other one 18 out of 25, and then the next one, the final exam which is out of 50, then automatically I'll need a 42, so that I can score a distinction. But if you can't get a distinction 42 here, it means that now you have to keep on distributing. If I make this one 20 out of 25, then automatically here I'll need a 40. You see? So if I got here maybe 22 here, then here I will need 38 out of, you see? If I got here even here 22, then automatically here it keeps on reducing 38. So it means that those people who have not yet done their papers, you will need more SBA for you guys to make a distinction. Those who are going to write next year, yes, who are going to be watching this video next year, make sure that you start early. Yes. Now, what about English or languages? Languages is also like these other subjects. However, language is somehow different. From term 1, you do different tasks. Term 1 to term 3. Yes? Also, we convert it to 25%. Is it clear? But you have paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. You understand? Paper 3 has too much weighting. It has too much weighting around if it is first home language around 42 ne? Your teachers can confirm with you based on that. And then paper 2 is around 30, and then paper 1 is around 28. I know that if paper 1 killed you, it's cool. You have to make sure that you double paper 3 so that you you double this mark you have lost in paper 1. You understand? Why? Because the weighting for paper 3 is much more higher than the weighting in paper 1. If you have failed paper 3 and you have passed paper 1 very well, the chances are high that you might lose a distinction. But if you pass paper 3, guys, remember you have not written paper 3. So it means that the chance for you to get a distinction, even if this paper 1 and paper 2 did shire you, automatically you can make a distinction by passing paper 3. You understand? Yes, make sure that you excel very well in paper 3 so that now you can be able to score a distinction. Is it clear? Yes. So, all this we convert to 75%. So, but remember this one has a bigger weighting. So it means that if I got, for example, 20 here and I got here maybe 25 and maybe I got 16. Let me just show you here. Paper 1 you got 18. Paper 2 you got out of 20. For example, the weighting I'm talking about based on weighting. Ne? Paper 1 I got 18. Paper 2 I got maybe 30. And then paper 3 I've got maybe 40. Ne? Yes. And yes. When you got maybe here you got maybe 25. You got here maybe you got 25 again. You understand? You got 30. Yes. You got 30, 25, and then here you get here you can get 30, 30, 39. Let me say 39, and then here you get maybe, for example, 30. This person, however much has excelled here, is better than here, excelled here, better than here. This one might get a higher mark on final than this. Why? Because this paper 3 has a bigger weighting and managed to pass it very well. Therefore, will have a higher mark compared to this one who has got only these two papers, yes, but the weighting, its weighting is not that much. So it means that you have to make it in paper 3. Guys, there is a time when that all this acts to all languages. So, but there is a time, guys, when your SBA is thrown in the basket, meaning that this out of 25 you are talking about is not useful to you anymore. Is not useful to you anymore. When is that time? Let me show you guys, because this is the most painful time you can ever have. For example, you, instead of writing out of 100, you write out of 75. You see? So what happens is, for example, you make the SBA, you guys, you get 20 out of 25. Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Then final exam out of 75, you get 20 out of 75. They will say this is impossible. 20 out of 75, and then here 20 out. Now let's calculate and find out how much is it in real marks. 20 divided by 25. Yes, answer times 100. Answer, it gives you 80%. So it means that in your SBA from term 1 term 3 you have been getting distinction level 7. What about in final exam? 20 divided by 75 answer times 100. So here you get 26%, 26.7%. They'll ask you, how possible is this? What they will do, they will just get this, they throw it in the bin, they will give you 26%. Meaning that you have not even calculated the SBA. You don't have SBA. You see, it would have been 26 plus this 20. It gives you 20 plus this 20 plus 20. It gives you 40%. But because this 80% is not, it cannot link. You cannot keep on writing and you get 80%, and then the final exam comes, and then when you get 26 out of 75, you get and the final exam comes, and then when you get 20 out of 75, which is you get here distinction, here you get a level level 1. Imagine, from distinction to a level 1, they'll say that is not applicable. So what they do is they throw this in the bin when they give you on the statement 26%. That is the first scenario where they throw your things in the bin. Now, the second scenario, what about when I have 10 out of 25 as my SBA? Yes. And then in final I get 60 out of 75. Okay, now let's convert it. 10 divided by 25 answer times 100 answer, it gives me 40. It means that when you have been writing, you have been getting 40, and then the final exam comes, you get 60 divided by 75 answer times 100 answer, it gives you 80%. You see, so what do they do? The actual mark you have got is 10 plus 60, which gives you 70%. That's what would have been on your statement. But now what happens is this is not applicable. You can't be getting 40, and final exam you get 100%, you get 80%. What happens? They will throw this in the bin. Instead of giving you 70, they'll give you 80%. Meaning that the difference between your SBA and your final mark must be ranging between 10. If you get here maybe 60, the minimum or maximum you can get is 70. So it can be either plus or minus 60, plus or minus 60. If it is too much more than this, then they'll only consider that final exam. And in that case, if it is too much, then it is benefiting you. But now if you pass the SBA, in this case, you pass the SBA too much, and then you fail the final exam, then automatically they will throw the SBA still, then they put the final exam, still you will be failing. The same way I say that here you fail the SBA, you pass the exam. When we add 10 plus 60, you get 70. But if you pass the exam very too much way high, automatically they will give you that mark you have got in exam as 80%. While if you pass the SBA too much, maybe for example, as I say that you get 20 out of 25, which is a distinction, and then here you come and you get 26, perfect. They will just throw this in the bin. They will give you your 26% instead of giving you a 50. So guys, that's how we do calculate, and that's how we been doing these things of waiting. So I've not explained everything in detail. I was just doing a highlight for you guys who have written your papers so that you know exactly what you need. If you are not so sure of the mark you got, go ask your teacher that, sir, how much did I get? The teacher is supposed to tell you how much you got, so that at least you go for your holiday when you feel good and you know that, yeah, my distinction is coming. If the distinction does not come, then you have to ask yourself, why apply for a mark? Yes. Guys, any question? I think there is no any other question. If you have any question, I hope someone is asking a question. So guys, I think that is it. Unless you have any question, I wish you the best next year. For those people who are not going to be, meaning that those people will be writing next year, we will invite different teachers, and then they come, they explain to you guys, so that at least on this channel, THUNDEREDUC, make sure that your sisters, they subscribe, they like, so that they don't lose their distinction. We will be guiding you full swing from term 1 until term 4, so that we see that you score a distinction. And those people who are going to say they are not satisfied with their marks, they want to, for example, to upgrade and stuff, maybe you realize it when it's too late, still follow us on YouTube. We will help you so that you get a distinction. That's why we are here, for you, to help you, so that we say that we have better citizens in this country. Thank you very much, guys. I think we will see you again next time.